Everybody, I wanted to do a video here on my project. I just need to check the volume. Okay, I think everything's working properly. So I want to do a video on making the option choice and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to invoke some pseudocoding. Let's see here. So let's call this the options chapter 1.py. All right. And I'll go ahead and start with my comments here. EIDA. This is 10.29.24. And then some pseudocode. And I'm going to bring up my picture here. I have it on the side here. But, I wonder if I can. No. Okay, so let me kind of do a screen so I can kind of see this. And let's see this. Oh. All right. I'm skipping over the game intro part. I just want to get into the make choice. So I need to print the options. I need to ask user for input. I need to send the user into different branch based on the choice. And let's leave it there for now. I do eventually want to have some looping because for instance, if I choose to buy drinks, then I come back to make choice again. So to think about how I want to do that. All right, here we go. So print the options. I could just say options equals, and then I have my strings here, which would be talk to bartender. So I'm making a list of strings that kind of represent what I want to do. I can add more detail here if I want. Buy some drinks. Talk to Rachel, the barmaid. I think those are my three options. Let me check. So I got choose bartender, buy drinks, talk to barmaid, flirt with barmaid. Yeah, okay. So those are the three things that I have available here. And then I'm going to do a for loop for string in options. Let's do print, and I'm going to do an F string here because I want to invoke. Oh, wait a minute. This, look this up here. Python print list with index. I think it's something about enumerate. For geeks. I don't know, python.org. So one of the choices you have to make as you're Googling is where to look. I'm going to start with the docs just because I want to model good behavior here. Okay, yeah. Okay, so here we go. Index and item. Index and string in options. It's really one of the strengths of Python. So all the documentation. This is not the docs.python.org. It's discuss.python.org. Yeah, I probably would have found the answer in many of the options that I saw there. Okay, so I can print now. I'm going to do the index +1 and period, and then I'm going to put the str. Oops, str. Might do dot capitalize just because I want to capitalize the first letter. All right, and I'm going to test that. So I should be able to go to my terminal, Python 3, and I'm running options. Okay. Oh, mamacita. What happened? Bum, 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 bum. Built-in method capitalized. The 1, 2, 3 worked fine. I didn't invoke this function. Not an error, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. All right. Talk to bartender, buy some drinks, talk to Rachel, the barmaid. Then I need to ask choice equals int input. Then I have a string, choose a number from the list. Okay. And then so let's just start with a elif structure. If choice equals 1, print the bartender is pleasant. So this isn't actually what's going to happen, but I'm just building the structure. Choice equals 2. And then I'm going to do some copying and pasting here. So I'm a big fan of copy and paste. The bartender's pleasant. Bartender gives you a pint of ale. And then I can copy this whole elif. And Rachel is receptive to your conversation and asks you to buy her a drink. All right, so now I just want to see if this is working. All right, choose a number. I don't know that I need an exclamation point there. Choose a number from the list, colon, space. This did not work as intended. Oh, because I copied and pasted, I chose the third one and it didn't have a match. Okay, well, that makes sense because it wasn't a third. Right, 3, Rachel's receptive to your conversation. Okay, so this is working. I can test it again with 2. I can test it again with 1. I start thinking a little bit about error handling here. What if I say a number that's not there, 35, nothing happens? It's not the end of the world, but obviously I need to do something. I'm going to do a quick search. I think I know the right format, but I'm going to do try except Python. Okay, got W3 schools, got Python docs. Again, let's start with the real documentation. Okay, try colon, then you have this little block and then accept. Okay. So basically I want to say try this part here because if well, I could just put an else step here. I'm kind of thinking ahead to another problem here, but that print that is not a real choice, good sir. Now, one of the things that this isn't going to loop. Let's put try on hold for a second. This should cover now something is happening. So I say 35, that's not a real choice, good sir. If I said 0, that's not a choice. Okay, so that's fine, but it's not looping. And so one of the things I could do here is nest this whole thing in a while loop. While choice. How could I see? What I'm trying to do here. I want to loop while the choice is not 1, 2, or 3. All right, so and there's another thing I'm thinking about, which is I want to avoid problems if I provide a non-integer input. And I'm also thinking about there is some future looping based on what happens in each choice. Okay, so I gotta kind of deal with these problems one at a time. So I'm going to ignore this non-integer input problem for now. That's going to be the try except approach. So then I'm assuming that this worked. And it feels like I need to do this again. And then come back to the input. So let's start there and refactor it later. So that's not a real choice. Print the options again. Ask for choice again. While true, do this. And then I could put breaks here, here, and here, so that if I enter into these sections, I'm going to break out of my while loop. If I stay in the else section, I'm going to see the choices again, make a new choice, and then I'm coming back to the top of the loop. So then I'm going to look again. All right, let's try it. Let me make sure it's saved here. All right, I'm going to choose 34. For index, print. Ah, interesting. Yeah, that's in the for loop right now. That's not where it's supposed to be. Okay. Uh-oh. 2, 2, 2. All right. So now let's run it again. So I just noticed that I didn't get the full list here. And then when I went back and looked at it, I realized I had put choice inside the for loop, which meant I was going to ask them every time I see an option, give them a choice. No, I need to see all my options first. 34, got all the options, choose a number from the list. -2, not a real choice. 78, 23.2. Okay, that broke it. But if I have, so I did 5 and then 2, then I come back and I exceed. Okay, great. So this is a basic structure for making choices and controlling for options that are not on the list. So I've accomplished this. Now I want to avoid problems if I provide a non-integer input. And so I'm going to deal with that through making this whole thing a block. Tab it in one time, try colon, and then we have an except further down, except colon, go back to the notation here. Kind of value error. Okay, so except value error, because I think that could happen here. If we ask for an input, we try to change it into an int, but the input actually wasn't an int, then we're going to get a value error. Then I would say print, you are acting in bad faith. Be gone. I don't know that that's what I want to do, but I think that should handle the problem for me. So 23 loops, fine. And if I put SD, you're acting in bad faith. Be gone. Okay. So this is a very basic way of handling bad input, non-integer input, right? And then future looping based on what happens in each choice. So that I think is where the break comes in, because I may not want to break it, right? I could have like going back to my description. So for instance, what I'm imagining is if you buy drinks, you're gonna lose money, hit points, and time. Let me just kind of demonstrate how I'm imagining that. Character, resources equals time 100. Hit points 100 and gold 1000. Okay. So for instance, this one isn't the most complicated. The bartender gives you a pint of ale, print, that is so delicious. We buy another. And then I could do some kind of rando equals, oops, I need to import rand here. Import rand dumb. And then I can say random dot random range. And I'm gonna go from 1 to from 3 to 10. And then I'll do 4x in rando. Wait a minute. So that rando is my, let's write some pseudocode. I have a random number that represents how many drinks I will buy. And then I lose 1 day regardless. And I lose 10 zloty per drink. And so I want to do a little while loop that lowers my character resources. So I'll do this. I have my rando number. So while rando is greater than 0, we pay the bartender 10 zloty. And then do the actual functionality here. Character, resources, bracket gold minus equals 10. And then after we're done with that, print you have lost a day drinking at the bar. I hope you are satisfied. And then I'm going to take off my break here. I'm going to do character, resources, character resources, bracket, time, and then minus equals 1. And at some point, yeah, I mean, I want to like check to see that that's working. So The break at the end could be, so maybe the end of the program could just be print. Or item or attribute in character resources. Print. Let's just print. You have plus, and then the attribute is the string, so I'll do character resources bracket attribute plus, oh, this should be an F string because this is going to be easier to just interpolate. Oops. You have 10 gold, just attribute left. All right, so now I made a lot of changes, so let's check in on myself here. Buy some drinks. Oh boy, we got an infinite loop. Yes, we forgot to decrement rando. So we ended up in a infinite loop. Okay, fun. Let's get a new terminal here. And we'll go. Dun, 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 dun. Shoot. Still infinite loop. While rando is greater than 0, print that's delicious, subtract 10 gold, minus equals 1. Print. Let's do some printing here to kind of check in on things. Print rando. Print rando. And do a break here. That way we just break out of the loop. Right, terminal, new terminal. Something's going wrong with my rando. Okay, I'm buying drinks. Oh, we're breaking out of that while. Wonder if we're not breaking from the larger one. Because then we don't have a chance to choose again. Yeah, I think that's actually the problem. So let me take this one off. All right, save it. Get rid of that terminal. There's a way to break, but I can't remember what the code, what the shortcut is. All right, here we go. Because the choice never changed, right? I have to give the user a chance to make a new choice. Otherwise, we're not gonna, nothing's gonna change. We're gonna come back, do rando again. Okay, that makes. Hey, all right, so. So we chose a random number. Bartender gives you a pint of ale. I put 3. Let me just make sure the math is working here. Bartender gives you a pint of ale. That's so delicious. You buy another. You pay the bartender 10 zloty. Oh, sorry. I should have said this here. Pay the bartender 10 zloty, and then I'm going to do it again. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's do it again. Buy some drinks. Bartender gives me a pint of ale. The random number was 4. I paid for the first one. Did I save this? Shoot. Oh yeah. So Control C is the break there. Okay, so 2. And back to the choice. Okay, so bartender gives you price of ale. You pay the bartender 10 zlotys. So delicious, you buy another. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I'm going to talk to Rachel. That's 10. Just don't count my checking, right? Counting here. Bought a pint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, fine. Yeah. And then cool. I mean, I could go on, buy more drinks, waste another day. Right. Okay. It's got pretty complicated. I'm definitely feeling the need to start refactoring and doing some functions here, because you notice I'm saying some of the same things over and over again. This part, I now said it in 3 places, right? And this is essentially a method that is going to like print my list of options, right? And so one of the things I could do is I could say, all right, options dot py, and I could say take this out. Okay, so this is the IDA. 24. All right. This file is intended to be a module that other files can reference. I just had this thought about like all of the options for all the chapters can be here, and then they can be brought over. I gotta kind of not get too big. This is one of the things that you gotta learn about programming is you want to do small things, chip away at it. So I'm gonna just refactor this so that it's modularized and I can access it here. And then eventually I want to try to think about how to do this for multiple chapters. So then this should go into here. But I'm going to make this a method, def print options. And this needs to then be tabbed in. Okay, and so I should do now anywhere I see. Okay. Oh, so I need it here. I need to say import options and then options dot print options. What that should do is every time I do this line, it should print my option. So now instead of doing that, I can say do that. And I can say do that. Right. And see if it still works. Okay, here we go. Okay, didn't break yet. Buy some drinks. Buy some more drinks. Talk to Rachel. Nice. 2 days wasted. 120 gold wasted. Okay, this guy has a drinking problem. But that's a good example of modularizing something. And what I'm imagining is that print options could have an input, and the input could be relevant to the chapter. And then maybe I have a list of lists, and then I'm using the index to the, okay, I'm gonna write that note down to myself because it might be useful. I think I could make a list of lists. And then use indices to reference the lists that matter by chapter. I'm getting excited here. I'm gonna stop this video and post it.